Good morning, Paul. Today is Monday, October 2nd, and here's the heads-up briefing for today. In today's production consisted of 76 issues. We had a total of 60 issues in APAC and 16 issues in EMEA. In East Asia Pacific, we covered 33 issues. In North Asia, 6 issues. In South Asia, 21 issues, along with the major developments in the EMEA region.
Okay, thanks. Go ahead.
Starting off with the East Asia Pacific, in Australia, the XR Drum Rebellion Group will carry out a protest against the use of fossil fuels in Sydney, New South Wales tomorrow. The protest will be carried out outside the National Australia Bank at 333 George Street between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then protesters will move to the Westpac office at 341 George Street between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Okay, we've got a couple of clients in that area, so just make sure that we've correlated their footprint against those locations, and if necessary, had a chat with them in private groups, okay?
Sure, Paul. In New Zealand, the Met Service has issued severe weather warnings for central and southern New Zealand for today and tomorrow. Severely affected areas include Queenstown and Dunedin.
And where, sorry?
Queenstown and Dunedin.
Dunedin, okay, thank you.
Moving over to Papua New Guinea, the polling for the North Bougainville electorate by-elections commenced today and is expected to end on October 6th.
Thank you.
In Thailand, 10 provinces along the Chao Phraya River are at risk of flooding due to potential river overflow from tomorrow until October 6th. Some provinces include Uthai Thani, Chainat, Singburi, and Angtong, among others.
Okay, thank you.
In North Asia and China, severe tropical storm Koino is expected to develop into a severe typhoon and bring strong winds and rainfall to Hong Kong by October 6th.
Thank you.
In South Asia, in Pakistan, the Balochistan government declared an all-out war against terrorism in the province yesterday. This actually comes following a suicide bomb blast in Mastong that killed 59 people on September 29th. The government has also hinted at the involvement of Indian intelligence agencies in the attack.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's got a lot of credibility, not. It's a nice way to deflect from the fact that you've just had a massive terrorism operation in your own backyard. It's of grave concern that the Balochistan terror acts have been going on for a long, long time. And it's a lovely PR statement to declare all-out war, but so far their all-out war against it's been pretty futile. Carry on.
In India, the All India Trinamool Congress will hold a 2-day protest in New Delhi from today over the delay in the release of funds from the central government.
Thank you.
Moving over to the EMEA region, concerning the latest tensions between Serbia and Kosovo, the UK government will deploy 200 British soldiers to Kosovo as part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization peacekeeping mission, which is the K4. This comes following a request by NATO and to ease the ongoing tensions between the two countries.
Thank you.
Concerning Russia and Ukraine, former President Dmitry Medvedev yesterday said that any British soldiers training Ukrainian troops in Ukraine would be legitimate targets for Russian forces. He added that German factories producing Taurus missiles would also be targets should they supply Kiev with weapons.
Yep, and that's the reality that you can't have one set of laws to suit NATO and America in particular. It's very hypocritical where, you know, Blinken's talking about law aside, what used to be Syria, as we know now as Golan Heights, is now part of Israel. Law aside, and I'm quoting the American State Department there, but then they quote Russia breaking laws, but they don't quote when they elect to ignore UN security laws themselves. So this hypocrisy is being pointed out. The Russian foreign ministers also pointed out very, very clearly the hypocrisy of many of the statements coming out of the American State Department out of NATO, out of Europe. And these are legitimate targets, and they're pretending they're not at war, they're not contributing to war, they didn't start the war. And all fingers they point at, you invaded, but none of the reasons why Russia invaded. And they're giving every chance to start World War III. My only question is that their objective? Rhetorical question, best met, in the in-depth assessments we're writing on that. But we need to monitor this extremely closely. We need to be reading the Chinese and the Russian foreign affairs releases, not just listening to the Western media releases. And the Brits have a good name for those. It's called bollocks. Okay, thanks very much. Anything else?
Yes, Paul. And moving over to the Middle East, in Turkey, 2 suspected terrorists were killed and 2 police officers were injured in a terror-related incident in the capital, Ankara, yesterday. A suicide bomber detonated a bomb near the main gate of the Ministry of Interior, and the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is a group declared as a terrorist group by Turkey, the UK, and the US, claimed responsibility for the attack.
Okay, could you get me the relevant production on that? And if it doesn't already have so, get me a map of where exactly that is within Ankara. I need to share that with a couple of our clients personally, okay?
Yes, sure. And finally, in Africa, in Chad, civil society groups and several opposition groups have called for the departure of French soldiers from Chad. The groups said the troops should leave within 3 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. That's all for today. Anything else from your end?
No, cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.